Radio Cayman presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to the Business Buzz. This is a Thursday edition of the Business Buzz. We're on January 13th. In case you missed me on Tuesday, I just want to say Happy New Year again. Happy New Year to Sue. She's in the studio this morning. Good morning, Susan. Missed you. She's waving. Okay, Susan is a woman in the phones and the camera, the door, the console, just about everything. I want to say good morning to our sponsors as well, Cayman Insurance Center, Optical Outlook, Cayman Medical Supplies, and TCE Paint. Thank you so much for your proud and kind sponsorship of the Business Buzz. In the studio this morning, we're excited because it's a brand new year. This is our second show, and we have joining us Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay, who is in charge of Specialist Operation with the RCIPS, and Ms. Delissa Hernandez. Delissa is the Prevention and Education Officer with the National Drug Council, representing the Arrive Alive 345 campaign. Good morning, Delissa. Good morning, Inspector
Good
Kay.
morning.
How are you both?
Live, alert, awake, enthusiastic.
Similar, very similar.
Well, hopefully I can match both of you, huh? The same, right? Well, it's good to have you in the studio this morning.
Thank you.
Was Santa good to you, Inspector King?
I think Santa forgot where I lived. So
Maybe you were on vacation.
maybe I was on his naughty list.
Oh no! We gotta correct that for 2022, right? Delissa, how were you?
Not bad, I kind of ruined Christmas lunch, but we won't talk about the smoke in the house at all this year.
Sound like fun?
Yeah,
Sound like you had some fun.
It was very dramatic.
Oh my gosh! Well, hopefully 2022 will be a better year, and we'll all. I think Santa missed my house too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely missed it. I don't know. He was somebody. He didn't use GPS this year,
We'll work on it for this
and he
year.
got a bit sidetracked. Oh, Susan said he was maybe social distancing.
Ah.
That was a
that's
long
it.
distance, Susan. But anyway, we're glad that you're in the studio this morning, and we're going to cover we're going to get an update on Operation Quaker and Winter Guardian, as well as other helpful safety information from Inspector K. And we'll hear about what happened with Arrive Alive 345 campaign 2021. And we're going to pick on you first, Inspector K. How about if you share a little bit about the Operation Winter Guardian, how it went, and give us some of the results.
Sure. Okay. Thanks.
If you want to call it results,
result, yeah.
per se.
Well, yeah.
Stats.
Yeah. Some of the findings from the op. So before Christmas, we met here in 2 consecutive months, just to start the ball rolling, so to speak, start the education aspect of the policing. There are various avenues that we can take, and education is one of the biggest ones, alerting the public to some of the issues that we're finding, some suggestions that we can give with road safety, with burglary prevention and general safety on the road. So we did that. I thought that was quite successful in the lead up, introducing the plan so nobody could be caught off guard when they see an increase in police patrols, vehicle checkpoints, in and around the key areas and at specific times of the day and night. So the actual Operation Winter Guardian is an accumulation of all the RCIB departments, and I say all because I can't think of any that weren't involved, from the financial crimes aspect that we're looking at the frauds, and we put out some media releases on scams and frauds, to anti-burglary patrols by the Criminal Investigation Department, neighbourhood policing, traffic, just to name a few. I know.
How about your K9?
Definitely the K9 was out and about.
Okay.
Yeah, they're always very visible, and of course the Air Operations Unit is always very visible, with border security assisting the land-based teams, and also with, the drug interdictions and that sort of thing. So it was a very, very busy. It was the second year that I was involved in it. So I learned a lot from last year. So I think this year went well, all in all. I have got some stats. It ran from the 1st of December to the 3rd of January. So these are some of the figures, and I never know whether to say the operation was successful, because I have so many figures to give you. From a policing perspective,
We're all ears.
But so I'll just run through some of the figures that we've collated between that period. So 24 people were arrested for driving under the influence. 268 speeding tickets were issued. 250 tickets for excessive tint. 149 tickets for expired registration. 30 people were warned for intended prosecution for driving while being unqualified or disqualified, and 51 tickets were issued for the use of mobile phone while driving, and unfortunately we had 228 reports of collisions, MVAs, during that period. Now that's all sort of road related, and I think those high numbers are a reflection of the increased police presence, patrols, including the special constabulary, and the additional resources that we put into the operation. Away from the roads policing, there were unfortunately 11 burglaries reported, 1 aggravated burglary, 3 robberies, and 2 attempted robberies for that period. So that's the crime side. I think since then we've seen a massive. We've made an arrest with the burglaries, and since that individual was arrested, we've had no more. So we are. I think I mentioned to you in one of the previous shows, there's sometimes a definite correlation between people that are out and about and the increase in specific crimes. So that's just an unfortunate fact. But so I just go back to those figures, some massive figures. 268 speeding tickets. People still aren't getting the advice, the educational side of it. Our pleas for people to slow down. So if you don't listen, you'll have to pay the consequences. And
260 for tint. I can never get over that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have all these stats. 268 for special.
The 268 were for excessive speed.
Speeding. That was
yes.
speeding. Okay, speeding.
Yeah.
Okay, and 228 you had for what those.
228 for MVAs. There were 228
right.
MVAs, and that would be a combination of fender benders and more serious.
Got that. I'm not trying to make notes, but I can't understand my own handwriting. Shorthand. No, if you're just joining us, it's 27 minutes after 8 o'clock. You're listening to the Business Buzz. Today we only have one segment because earlier this morning we had Money Sense, and that was a great program. And in the studio joining me this morning is Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay. He's in charge of Specialist Operation with the RCIPS. And joining him in the studio, Ms. Delissa Hernandez. Delissa is the Prevention and Education Officer with the National Drug Council. And this morning she's representing Arrival Live 345. Now, on the traffic side of things, Chief Inspector, overall, you give us the stats for December. On the traffic side of things, you give us burglary and stuff like that. Now, moving into 2022, I'm kind of jumping the gun here. do you think that we're already today is the 13th of January. I just said it earlier. I mean, only a few days left in January. Do you think you'll see an increase in some of these stats?
Hopefully we won't see an increase. Hopefully, from shows like this and other media releases, people will get the message and learn from other people's mistakes.
Think, right?
Well, you would like to think, and that's always, a definite wish. That's the whole reason that we keep promoting road safety. Obviously, 268 people thought they could speed and get away with it. So we're not going to stop what we're doing. And that means we're not going to stop with the educational side of it, but we're certainly not going to stop with the enforcement side of it. So whether those figures go up or down completely depends on the general public and their driving habits.
How long will Winter Guardian continue?
So Winter Guardian itself, as a specific operation, ended on the 3rd of January.
3rd of January, that's it. Okay.
It will definitely be around next year for the Christmas season again. However, Operation Quaker, which is specifically the traffic aspect of the overall operational order, is a year-long initiative. We don't stop. We don't take a day off from.
You'll get a break, right?
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll take a break for Susan. Thank you.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Electric bills are up, air quality is down, and apparently a global pandemic to dampen your spirits. Sherwin-Williams can help with their insulating super paint featuring zero VOC with air purifying, sanitizing, microbicidal technology. Prevent the spread of bacteria and kill up to 99% of bacteria. Improve your home air quality and fight COVID germs. Exterior insulating acrylic can reduce up to 85% solar and UV radiation. A freshly painted home can definitely lift those spirits. A brighter home, better home, air quality, and lower home CUC bills. That's a win home run. Sherwin-Williams, 150 years strong. TCE Paint Shop has 3 locations to better serve you. Cox Lumber and the original store at 27 Godfrey Nixon Way. Call 943-0565.
We asked 100 people what they would do with a little extra time. Top answers included hang with friends, sleep, volunteer, walking on the beach, watch TV. But the odd thing is, no one said, stand in line to pay my bill. Funny that. Now Logic introduces Logic My Account. Pay online, view bill history, schedule automatic payments, and more. Go to logic.ky/my account and pay online, not stand in line. Logic My Account. Go on. Give yourself a little extra time. Bake a cake, browse the web, yoga, spring clean.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay and Delissa Hernandez this morning. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad you didn't leave me in the studio by myself. No, Chief Inspector, let's go back to you said you wanted to just tidy up your stats because you left a few off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the stats that I gave were for the entire month-long operation, but just to focus on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day specifically, just to show the levels of ticketing and police activity. So on New Year's Eve, there were 40 tickets issued just on New Year's Eve alone, 20 of those for vehicles requiring to be licensed. The others were for various offences, tints, speeding, seatbelts, defective lights, etc. We had 5 arrests on New Year's Eve. 2 of those were for road safety related matters, including one for a DUI, and another one for driving without being qualified, driving without insurance. New Year's Day itself, we had 47 tickets, so that's out of the month long. That's 87 tickets just in one 24-hour period. And out of those, 14 were for driving a vehicle without being licensed, 8 with expired registration, 6 for tint, 9 for speeding, and the others for various other driving offences, driving without lights, disabled parking offences, seatbelts, etc. On New Year's Day itself, unfortunately, we had 11 arrests, which is a lot. I mean, I can't recall any single day that we would normally make 11 arrests.
Wow.
We also, unfortunately, had a series of violent offences, specifically. So that would be, I say New Year's Day, but it was probably New Year's Eve into the early hours of New Year's Day. So they were for assaults, ABH, GBH, disorderly conduct, DUI, and being in charge of a vehicle while being under the influence, and other driving offences that carry an arrestable offence. So it was a very, very busy 24 hours. New Year's Eve, obviously we had the curfew leading up to, but that was extended for New Year's Eve so people could celebrate the start of 2022. But some people obviously took it too far. So it was, as I said, it was from a policing perspective, it was a very productive period. But I would like to sit here and say we had no arrests, no speeding tickets, because that would mean that people were being safe and driving. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And as I mentioned earlier, we will continue to battle the bad driving habits that we see every single day.
And we will bring it to the audience on the Business Buzz. And on that note, we'll turn our attention to Ms. Delissa Hernandez. And as I mentioned earlier, Delissa is the Prevention and Education Officer with the National Drug Council. And this morning she's representing the Arrive Alive 345 campaign. Delissa, now you worked hard on this campaign, you and the other folks at NDC. Now, and you've been on the bus for a couple of times, and on Talk Today we've had you on. Now we want to hear how the campaign went.
Well, overall, we're very happy with the outcome of the campaign. A lot of the community rode the buses on New Year's Eve, which was a service only given during the period of 9 p.m. in the evening through to, well, at that point, we had a cutoff time at 2. We extended that once we got feedback from the government and the extended hours and such. But we had almost 3,000 people ride the bus, which was approximately 36% increase in persons riding the bus since last year or since 2020.
Okay.
So in that aspect, it was a success. We did have a significant amount of people take on the designated driver initiative throughout the December month. A lot of people pledged. We had all over 3,000 people pledge to not drink and drive during the holiday season. So to us, the numbers showed success for the campaign. However, talking about what Chief Inspector discussed just a moment ago, while we were happy that we had no fatalities on New Year's Eve and going into New Year's morning, and during the time of the campaign, we did have obviously a few arrests, a few incidences, traffic incidences take place, and obviously, as he spoke about earlier, the violent crimes, and all of which, or some of which, included people using or misusing alcohol. Now, in that aspect, we're going to try our best. We would love the community to continue to do their part and ensuring the safety of not just themselves, but others around them. But overall, we were quite happy with the outcome of the actual campaign during the month of December, and specifically during the hours, both here in Grand Cayman and in Cayman Brac from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. I've got a lot of response from the community. Our specialist, our prevention specialist, Simon Miller, spoke about the energy on New Year's Eve, and people who were out and about, making sure that they were each other's keeper, and ensuring that, if they saw someone who was stumbling or saw that they, drank a bit too much, they were there to try to find someone that they, whether it was their friend or not, take their keys from them and those type of things. So he witnessed these things. He witnessed going to events where, you had event planners or hosts or DJs announce the campaign and to remind people to take the bus. So overall, the community did embrace the campaign the way we hoped that they did, making it part of their evening, making it part of their plans. And we're really happy and excited for that. And of course, partnering with the RCIPS during their Quaker and Winter Guardian was very much important to the council as well, simply because we're all, as well as Compass Media, we are all with Radio Cayman, RCIPS, Compass Media, and the NDC, wanting to ensure that the community do their part, and we do our part in ensuring that we have no incidences, or little to no incidences, with giving these opportunities, with ensuring that we're doing, what we're supposed to do to assist the community to do, what's right.
How many businesses actually signed up for the designated driver program?
So we had the campaign overall. We had sign up for restaurants and establishments. We had about 103 establishments who were giving out ribbons, the key rings, so that designated drivers can show that they were who they are and they were able to get their non-alcoholic beverages for free that evening, whatever evening it would have been that they were out. So that was a huge success for us as well, because in the year before we had just almost 90 establishments participate in the designated driver program.
So hopefully you'll get some more this year.
Oh, I'm praying for it.
Have you started planning for this year?
It is, yes. We have already started planning. We are in the planning to ensure that this year we're making it a little bit better, a little bit more user-friendly, mobile-wise, a little bit more.
When you say user-friendly.
We'll make that announcement as you get closer to the time. Okay. I like to keep you in suspense.
All right. We can handle it.
And we try to make the campaign a little bit more visual and visible out in the community. People may have seen the flags up on the flag posts, or light poles rather, out on Esterly Tibbetts and Linford Pearson Highway and at Foster's and those places. And we had 14 sponsors who supported the program, but we also had a number of supporters, including CUC, Foster's, Lanson Survey, the Minister of Health and Wellness, of course, the RCIPS, Radio Cayman, a number of supporters who were behind the campaign. So not just the sponsors being on board, but the community in general, the corporate community in general, really took this initiative and this campaign into their hands and made it, part of their holiday season.
Well, it's good to know that so many people use the bus.
I know, we're really excited.
It was probably a fun time, having all your friends in the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Were you actually there, Delissa?
Unfortunately, I was under the weather, so I was not able to enjoy the festivities like the rest of the community. But from what I understood, it seemed to be a pretty eventful evening, despite the incidences. So, overall, I'm really happy with the way the community, embraced the campaign. And I'm hoping that this year we have a little bit more. We know that this year, 2021, the borders opened and it was a little bit different than 2020.
Right.
But the fact that the numbers increased a notch between both years, we're happy with that.
How was Cayman Brack? Because your campaign was also in Cayman Brack, right?
Yes.
How did that go?
Cayman Brack was pretty good. It was a bit quiet as far as I heard. I'm not really sure in regards to from the RCIPS standpoint, but from what I understand, it was a pretty quiet evening. A lot of people did take the bus, not as much as we would have liked. And of course, because of, I think, some of the protocols and things that were put in place and the last minute decisions in the hours and a number of different things that may have happened. They didn't have as much traffic as they would have liked, as opposed to what they did in 2020. But at the end of the day, the drivers over there in the community actually did appreciate and embrace the campaign that evening as well.
The time was extended from 2 to 4.
Right.
And that was sort of a more or less an impromptu time change, extension rather. Was it hard for you guys to jump on board and get the buses, to extend their time to that 4 o'clock hour?
I wouldn't say it was a difficult thing for us to achieve. No, I think we're all, including the bus drivers, are all wanting the same outcome at the end of the day, and so they embrace the change. Kind of at a drop of a hat.
Yeah, it was a long time to party.
Yeah.
From 9 to 4.
Yes.
And that's like a first time it came out, because normally it's up to 3 o'clock, right?
Yes.
But 4.
Yes.
I saw it and I'm like, boy, I'm not a party goer anymore. So
well, I don't understand. I was in bed at 1 o'clock.
Some of us at 10. But in the meantime, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with RCIPS and hear a bit more from Delissa.
2020. Unprecedented times, uncertainty, and literally a new way of life.
Life happens, usually without warning.
That is why making sure that your family is insured is so important.
Cayman Insurance Center, 47 years strong, working to protect your family and your most valuable assets.
Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family.
For more information, call 949-4657. Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, health, motor, and other lines of insurance products and services at affordable rates.
Electric bills are up, air quality is down, and apparently a global pandemic to dampen your spirits. Sherwin-Williams can help with their insulating super paint featuring zero VOC with air purifying, sanitizing, microbicidal technology. Prevent the spread of bacteria and kill up to 99% of bacteria. Improve your home air quality and fight COVID germs. Exterior insulating acrylic can reduce up to 85% solar and UV radiation. A freshly painted home can definitely lift those spirits. A brighter home, better home, air quality, and lower home CUC bills. That's a win, win, home run. Sherwin-Williams, 150 years strong. TCE Paint Shop has 3 locations to better serve you. Cox Lumber and the original store at 27 Godfrey Nixon Way. Call 943-0565.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Motorists, drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Just about 12 minutes until 9 o'clock. This is all the time we have left on the Business Buzz. Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay is in the studio. He's in charge of Specialist Operation with the RCIPS. And Mr. Lisa Hernandez, Prevention and Education Officer with the National Drug Council. And this morning she's representing Arrival Live 345 campaign, and we heard all about that, how that went. And Alyssa, I have to ask you, do you have plans to offer the Purple Ribbon Bus service at any other times throughout the year? We've got Valentine's coming up. We've got St. Paddy's Day, my birthday, Easter weekend. Mm-hmm. I mean, and people, party on the weekend, period. Mm-hmm. So what are the are there any other plans in the works for the Purple Ribbon Pledge?
Well, Miss Anita, I've been trying for the last 3 years that I've been with the NDC to urge the community, the corporate community, to support this initiative throughout the year. As we heard with the numbers that the RCIPS recently gave us, there is a need. There was a caller on Talk Today earlier this week when we were on who said, why can't we, accommodate this throughout the year after, events, corporate events and these things? We would love to. But of course, we would need the support to do so. It is something that we have to, monetarily put forward for this to happen, which is why we do it during New Year's Eve or the holiday season. So if there is someone who is listening and would love to take this initiative throughout the year, of course, by all means, give us a call at 949-9000. Let's talk business. Let's see how we can, make it happen and get our community, to take this campaign year round. And I'm sure the RCIPS as well as the NDC and Compass Media would appreciate that, because we are all here for the same cause at the end of the day.
So we know we had, NDC and RCIPS, and everybody came together for this, but who was responsible for making this all possible?
The community. That was my world piece.
I like that.
Well, obviously the sponsors, we had, like I said, we had 14 sponsors who made it all happen. We had all of us behind the scenes, those of you at Radio Cayman, those of you at the RCIPS, people at Compass Media, they're our partner in this campaign, the NDC, the Cayman Black community as well. We had CUC, we had Foster's, we had Mr. Benjamin Bodden over at Cayman Airways, we had different individuals in the community who actually, volunteered their times. And of course, the bus drivers on New Year's Eve as well. Those were volunteer hours, for the most part. For the most part. Okay. For the most part. Wow. When I say that, I say that as in a lot of people want to spend their New Year's Eve with their family, right? So they volunteer. You know what? I'll be one of those bus drivers to go out and drive the bus. So we did have a number of people behind the scenes that made this all possible. But of course, it could not have actually been a success the way that we hoped it would have been without the community's support.
Well, I'm happy to see that it worked well.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to bigger and better things, bigger and better campaign for 2022.
Me too.
How about you, Chief Inspector? Are you looking forward to bigger things from the from NDC?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, there was two things that I was just going to mention. I gave the stats earlier on, on all the offenders and offences that took place, but hearing that 3,000 people used the opportunity to drive safely, I think it's worth thanking those people and others that did drive, safely and accordingly, because of all the people that were out and about, there was a lot of people that did do the right thing. So I think I don't always want it to be doom and gloom with the facts and figures that we put out, there are still a lot of people out there that are taking the time to do the right thing, get a designated driver or get a taxi, or over this period, the 345 Alive, the pledge. Yeah. The last point that I was just going to make, I think it's worth noting that some of the additional resources that we are able to use for the duration of Operation Winter Guardian was our current recruit constable class. They took a break from the classroom and were teamed up with experienced officers from the roads policing unit, and that would have given them a first-hand opportunity to see what policing is like on a day-to-day basis. It's not always sitting in a radio studio on a Thursday morning, at 2:00 in the morning on the side of the road dealing with people is a different world out there. So I just wanted to thank those guys. They've all gone back to class now. We haven't lost any of them. We haven't put anyone off, which is a good sign. So I wish them well for the rest of their training course, and look forward to them coming out as well. So they'll be out and about again for next year's operation. So yeah, just for the rest of 2022, it's a new year. I'm hoping that some of the messages that we keep putting out through all the media channels do sink in, and we see some safer driving habits on the roads. So yeah, just looking forward to a positive year. Unfortunately, we already have had a tragic road fatality. Let's hope that's the last one for the year.
Let's hope so.
It's up to the individual drivers, to make sure that you drive safely and carefully.
What are some of the ways that in which motorists can help to reduce accidents while they're using our roads?
So very simply, obey the speed limits is obviously a very simple one. Consuming alcohol is a big no if you're going to get behind the wheel after the fact. Also, as passengers in the front seat or the back seat, if somebody is driving excessively, tell them to slow down. If you think somebody has had a drink too many, do not get in the car with them. Even if you have to walk home or call a taxi, it's better to walk to Bordentown than to end up in a serious accident. So it's everybody's job to try and make sure these things don't happen. So just continued safe driving practices. When I'm driving around in my personal car, the number of people I still see on their telephones, putting your phone on speaker and holding it in front of you does not make it legal. There's not much difference between having it to your ear and having it 2 inches from your mouth. So just drive safety practices. That's all we can encourage.
And Murphy's Law, the minute you do that, you'll see a cop drive up alongside you.
I hope so. Well, the figures tend to support that. So yeah.
So Inspector Malcolm Kay, are there any other police news that you'd like to let our listeners know about? Or while you think about that, let me move over to Delissa. Delissa, what would you like to leave with us this morning?
Just overall, thank you so much for the support, Radio Cayman, throughout the year, but also during the holiday season and getting the message out there, supporting us and the community and ensuring that we do our part and be safe and delivering those messages. And of course, to the community, thank you so much for taking on the initiative, the campaign rather, and making it part of your plans this holiday season. Like I said earlier, we do have some things in motion, and we've already started planning. We tend to usually start planning in August, September, but it's already started. And, if there are any feedback or there is any feedback that you'd like to give us, feel free to log on to our Facebook page and send that there, or send that at info@ndc.ky. And thanks once again.
And thank you and NDC for all that you guys do on the RCIPS. Inspector Malcolm King, what would you like to leave with us this morning?
Yeah, just one thing. We've talked a lot about the Christmas period, New Year's Eve, and drivers, but just from a sort of pedestrian and a cyclist perspective as well, and motorbikes, from the drivers, let's be aware, particularly in the morning and in the evening when the light's not that great. There are a lot of people out there either walking dogs, exercise, walking, jogging, cycling. So let's exercise particular care from them. From an exercising perspective, if you're out exercising by yourself, wear some bright colours, some lighting. If possible, exercise with somebody, or exercise in a quite well lit or populated area. We did have an unfortunate situation where there was an assault. I would like to think that we could prevent that happening if people could, if possible. I mean, you should be able to go out jogging by yourself at any time of the day, particularly in the Cayman Islands, but things do happen. So if at all possible, pair up, go exercising together, safety in numbers, and exercise in, as I said, a well-lit area. There are sports tracks, and wear something bright.
Or learn some self-defense. Well, I'd like to thank both of you this morning, Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay and Alyssa. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio. I learn quite a lot every time both of you get into the studio. Inspect, can you let the listeners know how they can get more information regarding police news, and even the National Drug Council?
Yeah, thank you. As always, if you have any information, you can call any of the police stations or get in touch with us on the RCIPS website.
Mm-hmm. And over at the National Drug Council, you can call us at 949-9000 or email us at info@ndc.ky for any feedback or ideas, or, in regards to programming, someone will get back to you or answer your question.
And Alyssa, you have a baby coming up, so we want to wish you well.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
And to both of you, thank you so much. All the best for 2022. And I know we'll see you back in the studio at some point in time. We've been speaking with Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay of the RCIPS, who's in charge of Specialist Operation, and Alyssa Hernandez, Prevention and Education Officer with the National Drug Council. And of course, she came in to represent the Arrive Alive 345 campaign this morning. I want to say thanks to our producer, Ms. Susan Watson. Susan, thank you for always putting together a great script. And to our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center, Optical Outlook, Cayman Medical Supplies, and TCE Paint. And of course to our listeners and our YouTube viewers. And this morning, I want to tell you that the next show will be on Tuesday, January 18th. In the meantime, please stay safe. Remember to mask up, keep your social distance, and those hands, have them sanitized or washed. And if at all possible, vaccinate. Until then, we'll see you on Tuesday. God's willing.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Optical Outlook, now at their new location in Anderson Square. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook. And Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And TCE Paint Shop, with 3 locations to better serve your home decor needs. Cox Lumber, Sparky Drive, Cox Lumber, Bodden Town, and the original store